is on? I'm back with another story time. As y'all see by that title, I'm gonna be telling y'all how me and my sister fought over some tennis shoes. But before I get into the story time, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, send to a friend or a family member. And when you do that, then we can get into the story time. So y'all, I'm gonna give y'all this little quick story time before I have to go pick the girls up from school. So stay with me. Back then, I was a whole sneakerhead. Like I had a whole collection. Like, you know, the minute some Jordans or Nikes dropped, I was going to go get them. And I blame my daddy because that's all he bought me. So Mara was a sneakerhead as well. But, you know, like she was just getting into it. I'm going to say we had this friend of the family and we call him Uncle Craig. And Uncle Craig, you'll see him like every blue moon. Like it was very rare to see him. Like when he said he was coming, I mean he was nearby already on the way to you. If he say he coming back, you ain't gonna see him till next year. That's just how he was. He always brought us shoes. The shoes he would bring us either was like worn once before or brand new shoes that he bought and leave them in the closet. Like they still had tags and receipts in them. Now, most of the time he always brought my siblings' shoes because I think he had like a granddaughter or something that was around their age that had shoes. And, you know, she'll only wear them one time, so he'll give them to my siblings. He always brought my siblings shoes. It was very rare of him to bring me shoes. So at the time, my siblings was in elementary and I was like going into high school. So a week before this incident happened, he had already stopped by our house and brought my siblings a big box of shoes that had different sizes for all my siblings. You know, they wasn't one to it was some good amount of shoes. So he had ended up telling me like, I still got you. I have to go in my closet and look and see, you know, what new shoes I haven't worn yet. Which I really wasn't tripping because, like I said, I was a sneakerhead. So I always was going to the mall getting brand new shoes. And I had a whole, you know, shoe collection. So I wasn't tripping. I would never be one of those siblings that be jealous of the next sibling for something. That just wasn't me. Surprisingly, 3 days after that, he contacted me. I say surprisingly because I told y'all we heard from him and see him every blue moon. I was at the store. I forgot what I was getting. I think I was like school shopping or something like that. And I get a call from Uncle Craig. So he's like, Zah, where you at? I'm like, I'm at the store. And at this time, I was like in line getting ready to ring up my stuff. So he's like, what store you at? I'm like, I'm at Walmart. So he like, you know, how long you gonna be in Walmart? I said, not long because I'm in line finna get ready to head home. Why, what's up? He said, oh, remember the shoes that I said I had for you? I'm like, yeah, you're gonna get ready to drop them off to the house, but you're not home. So I'm like, you know, my mama and my siblings is home. You could just drop it off to them. So he like, nah, I'm gonna just wait till you get there. I was telling him to drop it off to my mama and my siblings because one, I thought he could get it to my mama and like she put it in her room. And then two, it's like, I know if I miss him this time, I'm not gonna see him till the next couple of months. So it was like, I wanted him to drop it off to the house so I didn't miss him because, you know, I ain't gonna see him in a minute. So I'm telling who he gonna get a new shoes to. Like, nah, I'm gonna just wait till you get to the house. He was like, I was literally finna pull up, you know, around the corner. So we stayed in a cul-de-sac and he basically had went into the cul-de-sac and turned around. And I'm thinking he finna leave. So I'm like, you could just pull into the driveway, give him to mama and tell mama to hold him in her room for me because I didn't like nobody in my room. So yeah, put him in her room. Like, you sure? I'm like, yeah. He was like, because I want to like hand them to you. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. Mind y'all, me and Mara is almost in the same size shoe. He telling me it's about 7-8 pairs of brand new shoes. That was for me. So I'm like, yeah, give them to my mama, tell my mama they for me. He's like, okay, cool. So he tells me when he drop them off to my mama that he'll give me a call and let me know, you know, when they've been dropped off. I start heading back to the house. Get to the house and my mama was getting ready to go to the store or go somewhere. I don't know what she was going, but all I know is she was too busy like getting ready. It was me and the girl's daddy that was bringing the stuff that I got from the store into my room. So while he was bringing the rest of the stuff into my room, I had went in my mama room and I was like, hey ma, what are shoes that, you know, Uncle Craig just dropped off? She points at her rocking chair and she's like, they right there. Mind y'all, it's only 2 pairs. This man told me that he dropped me off 7-8 pairs of shoes. So I said, this it? She was like, yeah, I mean, that's all that the kids brung in here. So I'm like, no, he said he brung me 7, 8 pairs of shoes. So she tells me like, oh, well, you're going to have to ask them because they only brung 2 pairs of shoes in here. But by this time, my mama walks out and she's getting ready to get into the car to head to the store or wherever else she was going. I like scanned my mama room to see if I was tripping, like maybe the boxes on the floor, something like that. No shoes in there. So I leave out my mama room and go in the living room, and all my siblings is sitting on the sofa. So I go to ask them like, hey, is these all the shoes that Uncle Craig dropped off? Some of them like, yeah. And then my other sister, Naya, she's like, no, he dropped off some more boxes, but Mari put them in her room. So I'm like, no, those are my shoes. He told me those are my shoes. So Mari starts, no, them not your shoes. No, them not your shoes. Now, remind you, me and Mari never got into it. We never had an argument. We never fought up until this point. That's when everything escalated. So I'm like, no. So she starts booting up. She like, no, them my shoes, them my shoes. So I'm like, Mari, he just brung y'all a whole box of shoes last week. The next week, he bring my shoes. And now you trying to claim my shoes after you already got shoes. So I'm like, no, them my shoes. Go get my shoes because he said those mine. She like, no, they my size and they mine and I picked them out. He said those was mine. So I said, I'm not gonna argue with you. Mario, get my shoes. She like, no, when I went out there, he said those was mine. So I called Craig up. He answered. I said, hey, shoes you just dropped off, how many boxes it was? He said 7 to 8 boxes. I'm like, whose shoes were they? He like, yours. I told you they was yours. I said, okay, so explain to Mario that those are my shoes and you just brought them shoes last week. So he was like, yeah, I told you, you know, I was bringing you the shoes. So then he hear us going back and forth and he said, see, this is why I wanted to wait till you was at the house so it wouldn't be, you know, no confusion. It's not no confusion. You said their minds, I said their minds. End of discussion. So I hang up the phone with him and I'm like, Mari, give him my shoes. Give him my shoes. She, no. She starts calling me a bitch. Bitch, I'm not getting you no shoes. Now remind you, she ain't nothing but in elementary. Bitch, I'm not getting you the shoes. Them my shoes. What? So then I call mama. I'm like, Mom, Uncle Craig said these was my shoes. Just tell your child to give me my shoes. She like, Mari, if he said those her shoes, just give them to her. She still wasn't listening. She, no, them my shoes, them my shoes. So I hang up the phone with her. I'm standing there. I'm not touching her. I'm not saying nothing. I'm not in her way. I'm just leaning against the wall. And I'm like, Mari, give me the shoes. Give me the shoes, Mari. Give me the shoes. So I said, you can give me the shoes. I'm finna go in your room and I'm finna take the shoes. She proceeds to go in her room and she get the boxes. I'm talking about all the boxes of shoes that was given to me. And she sit on the sofa with her arms wrapped around them. And she say, these are my shoes. I picked them out. I said, these are my shoes. Now, remind you, my girl's daddy and his 2 sisters are there. So they just sitting there looking at us stupid. And I'm like, you know, we siblings, we not even supposed to be arguing in front of these bitches. So just give me my shit. She proceeds to hold on to the shoes. So the shoes that she didn't have her arm around, respectfully grabbed them. And when I went to grab them and she felt me grab them, she jumps up and she swings at me. Now, I don't know about nobody else. I don't care about an age. I don't care about a gender. If you swing at me, if you spit at me, if you do anything that pertains to fighting, I black out. I don't care who you is. She ain't swing at me 1 time. She didn't swing at me 2 times. She literally 1, 2, 3, just like that. When she did that and she ended up hitting me, I lost it. I lost it. And yes, I did. Yes, I did. I hit her. I sure did. You hit me first. I hit her. So I wouldn't even say we fighting. I said now we tussling in the living room because don't put your hands on me. It's not that serious about no shoes, especially if they're not yours. So we tussling in the living room. All I know is I blacked out. And when I came back, somehow we started tussling from the living room to where we ended up in the hallway to now we ended up in my room on the bed. How that happened, I don't know. But yeah. So as, you know, we on the bed, my girl's daddy starts, you know, like pulling us apart. He like, y'all chill out. I'm like, I'm not even finna play with you. Get out my room. She like, B, I ain't getting out your room. I ain't getting out your room, like booting up again. I said, bro, I'm not finna do this. So I'm telling my other siblings, go get my shoes that she just dropped in the living room and bring them in my room. She's still trying to get the shoes. Still trying to get the shoes. So I'm like, here we go again. So when they bring the shoes in my room and she tried to proceed to take the shoes back out my room, I slapped the boxes out her hand. And that's what made her swing on me again. So when she swung on me again, all I did was grab her by the back of her neck and I pinned her down on my bed. Like literally grabbed the back of her neck and I pinned her face down to the bed. And I said, I'm not finna play with you. you finna get out my room. I said, you swing on me again, I'ma beat your ass again. And she was sitting there crying. I said, now are you done? She ain't saying nothing. She just crying. So then I let her up. She goes in the room. And I proceeded to clean up. And that was it. So my mama got back. And mama was like, y'all was fighting. I don't really know what all she had to say about it. Because I wasn't paying no mind. Like, baby, I was too busy organizing stuff and unbagging stuff. But yeah, I know she had something to say about her blinds. Because her blinds was knocked down and toe up. Mari lip was bleeding. And my hand was bleeding because when I was hitting her, I had ended up hitting my hand on the blinds, which it, you know, cut my finger. So my finger was bleeding. I think Mari's lip was bleeding because she was either biting down on it or I had accidentally hit her in her lip because I wasn't like intentionally like punching her. I was literally just grabbing her and I was slinging her around because you my little sister. You're not going to put your hands on me and expect not to get hit back. So I was just slinging her around and stuff like that. But yeah, I think my mom had something to say about the blinds. And that was pretty much it. She basically was like, y'all shouldn't be in here, you know, fighting and going back at it about no shoes. Especially if he said who the shoes were for. And then she had told my sister, like, you just had got some shoes last week. So if he said those are her shoes, give her her shoes. Then the 2 boxes of shoes that was left in my mama's room. So what she tried to do was pick out the shoes that she wanted, which was the good shoes. And then the ugly shoes, she tried to leave, you know, in my mama's room, which was the last 2 boxes. So yeah, that pretty much was it. Like I told y'all, it was just, you know, quick and simple, but I got my shoes. I don't know about her, but I had got my shoes. Got my shoes. And then that just goes to show how our bond was, because after we fought, we was back talking, back playing, and then I even let her wear, you know, some of my shoes to school and stuff like that. So it was just like, there was no point in fighting. But yeah, y'all, that was a short story time. I just had to tell y'all that because that was too funny. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I have rented with my siblings that's around my age group. I have rented with them. I don't give a damn what age you is. I don't rent it with them. But yeah, that was a quick little story time. I have another video dropping tomorrow, so make sure y'all stay tuned for that, because your girl been recording all these videos for y'all back to back, back to back. I just have to edit. So y'all, it's time for me to go pick up my girl. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, send to a friend or a family member, and stay tuned for my next video.